The reduction in the withdrawal rate of the universal credit is worth about £1,000 a year to people on the universal credit.
The Chancellor has cut universal credit, cut it by £1,000 a year at a time when the cost of food, energy and fuel prices are all soaring. The policy Rees-Mogg's talking about only applies to the 40% of people receiving the benefit who are actually in work. It won't make a blind bit of difference to the remaining 60%. That's 5.3 million claimants who aren't in work, and he knows it. That's 5.3 million claimants on universal credit, the overwhelming majority who have lost £1,000, not gained it. If that's not bad enough, the latest annual poverty statistics show the Chancellor's decision to axe the £20 a week uplift risks sending 400,000 children back into poverty.
Really important part, to deal with inflation, you can't increase public expenditure because that is in and of itself inflationary.
That's the explanation Rees-Mogg, who thinks food banks are uplifting, gives for Chancellor Rishi Sunak increasing benefits by a paltry 3%, with projected inflation of 10% by the autumn. If the Prime Minister wants to impose a ceiling on incomes, why should it only apply to those on benefits and universal credit? How is that levelling up? And remember, MPs are getting a pay rise of more than £2,000 a year.
There's £150 that's been made available to people to help them with their energy prices.
That's not going to make a dent when energy prices are soaring by several £100s a year.
The increase, as I mentioned earlier, in the living wage.
Last October, the Office for Budget Responsibility found that average real wages will be lower in 2026 than they were in 2008. Don't just take my word for it.
And the upshot is that come 2026, that's the end of this kind of projection period, you're still talking about real wages being the same, maybe even a tiny bit lower than they were in 2008.
And if that's not bad enough, Johnson's government has just hiked taxes for workers to their highest level in 70 years. Again, don't just take my word for it.
So in 2 years, you've raised taxes the same amount as Gordon Brown did in 10 years.
You accept that the tax burden is now up?
Yes.